My name is Nathan, and I was married to Emily for 8 years before our relationship crumbled in a way I never imagined. The worst part is that it all unfolded in front of her friends, who she seemed more focused on pleasing than standing up for her own husband. Looking back as I write this, I can see the warning signs that built up to the moment I grabbed my suitcase and walked away. Emily and I met during our college years, and back then she was a different person. Warm, encouraging, and aligned with my vision for a shared future. But after we tied the knot and settled into a suburban home, she started spending time with a group of women from our neighborhood who transformed her completely. These women were married to men with far higher incomes than mine, and they filled their days with shopping sprees, upscale brunches, and chatter about their careers, luxury vacations, and designer purchases. Emily began measuring our life against theirs, acting as though she was ashamed of me and my work as a middle school teacher, despite once saying she admired my dedication to shaping young minds. The group consisted of Lauren, married to an attorney, Samantha, whose husband ran a chain of cafes, Olivia, whose spouse was a surgeon, and Claire, whose partner earned hefty profits selling high-end properties. Every Wednesday, they gathered at our house for what they dubbed their tea circle. But it was really a chance to gossip, flaunt their wealth, and subtly undermine each other's contentment. At first, Emily tried to keep me away from these gatherings, suggesting I stay late at school or handle chores when her friends visited. But I noticed a shift in her after they left. She'd grow distant, irritable, and drop hints about needing a larger home or a more lucrative career for me. When I asked what was bothering her, she'd brush it off and retreat to bed early. The first time I truly grasped what was happening was about 7 months ago when I came home early from work with a pounding headache. I stepped into our living room to find all 5 women gathered around our coffee table, their luxury handbags and tailored outfits on full display, discussing their husbands' earnings and the cars they drove. Emily's face flushed when she saw me, and she introduced me to her friends, though I'd already met most at community events. Lauren gave me a curt glance and a greeting that suggested I was intruding, while Samantha barely acknowledged me with a nod. I greeted them politely and headed to the kitchen for water to ease my headache, but I overheard their hushed voices. I caught Emily mentioning that I'd had a tough day at work. As I passed back through the living room to head upstairs, Olivia remarked that it must be nice to have summers free as a teacher, her tone implying my job was cushy or unimportant. I wanted to clarify that teachers spend summers preparing lessons, attending training, or working side jobs to supplement income, but Emily quickly steered the conversation to a new bistro Samantha's husband had acquired. I went upstairs, took some painkillers, and tried to rest, but my mind replayed how those women had sized me up and how Emily seemed mortified by my presence. After that day, things deteriorated. Emily began inviting her friends over more frequently, no longer timing their visits for when I'd be out. It felt like she wanted me there, as if to highlight how her friends' husbands outshone me, and she seemed to relish their dismissive attitudes toward me when I crossed my own living room. Their remarks started subtly, but grew sharper. Lauren would quip that teachers probably didn't grasp finance or entrepreneurship, while Samantha would gush about her husband's lavish gifts and then glance at Emily's modest engagement ring, which we'd chosen because it was all we could afford. Olivia would mention her husband's grueling hours to support their family, implying I wasn't pulling my weight, and Claire would rave about their extravagant trips, stressing the importance of indulging in life's luxuries. Emily never stood up for me during these. I can't tell you the full story in short. To watch the full story, click the related link below.